mean, I guess my story is the same as anyone else's, you know. Hard beginning, rough childhood, broken home. You just want something better. It's just, where do you start with it, you know? I like to think that my journey started when I was 4 years old. That's when I fell in love with wrestling. I don't really remember a time not liking it. My grandmother was the first person to introduce me to it. It was all I've ever wanted to do ever since. I knew early on school wasn't for me. I was an honor student, but it's just not where my interest lied, you know? I'd finish my work and I'd turn to an empty page and just start drawing wrestling rings and wrestlers and stuff like that. I think I got to junior high and a lot of my friends started making decisions that I didn't agree with or choosing paths that I didn't want to go down, and it left me alone for a while. It always feels like the end of the world when you're a kid. I lost a lot of my closest friends due to like gang violence and drugs, and I have 9 brothers, and out of all of them, I was the closest with my brother Buddha, and I lost him when I was 18. It was a breaking point in my life where it was just, do I go this way? Do I go this way? Or do I go this way? You know, you could sit there and think for hours and days and months and weeks and years of just like, how do I put back the pieces and get my life back to what it was? But it'll never be the same. I feel like people think that I don't miss them or that I don't think about them or like home or anything like that, but it's just not, it's not the case. I can't go back as often as I'd like to. This is just such a grind. It's really nothing I ever expected. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. You know, it's really it's unsure. There's no guarantee. I could get hurt. I could have got hurt last night and not be able to do this today. I could get hurt tonight, not be able to wake up tomorrow. Same thing Wednesday and every day that follows. It's a real gamble, but I love it.
You've been in Japan! You've been in Japan! It's my turn! Go! Yeah!
It took a while to find myself. I feel like I was a carbon copy of a lot of people that like had hands in training me. I couldn't find myself. And everyone always says you should soul search, but I feel like that's easier said than done, especially when you know who you are outside of wrestling. I was always left alone. I learned to like deal with problems and things that made me upset in my own time. Counseling never worked. Therapy was like, it's just, I deal with things on my own, so I don't feel like that's something that everyone understands. Wrestling has changed that a lot though. My family's grown so much. I have brothers that aren't blood, that are closer than ones that are. I have 2 dads now. You know, I have a biological father, and I have Dave Chris, who literally he's basically given his life to make mine possible. He doesn't owe me anything. He never did. He didn't owe anyone anything.
Dave!
This is a guy that's worried about his own journey and somehow found a way to put me on my right one. It's crazy.
I was gonna let you know this, Craig. I'll knock you the fuck out.
Yeah. You know, Dave never had to take a chance on me. Dave didn't have to take a chance on anyone. You know, to say it's a blessing is a massive understatement. He's actually saved my life. We were at a show in Toledo with a Glad garbage bag curtain, you know, and now we show up to the same venues with these big LED boards and the lights and the cranes and the cameras, and it's stuff that you would have to picture before when you would go out. And I feel like that's kind of what sets our group aside from other people, where maybe we're just better at imagining those things until they come to fruition. 2 years ago, my name was all over this board. All the records and the weights and all that stuff. He said, I can't keep up with it anymore. I wrestle about 5 days a week now, so exercise is very few and far between for me. I try to get it in the ring anytime I can because it's really hard to find gyms sometimes. But yeah, this is how busy I am. I'm not on this board anywhere. So I guess, like, in retrospect, it's kind of cool. Nothing to show for your hard work. The Prince is me. Prince is something not a lot of people understand. People don't get it. It's not meant to be gotten though. Like, it's for me. It's me. It's me. Being bullied growing up made me one of the most insecure human beings I could have ever been. When I finally was old enough to get a job working for a Vans retail store, I finally, for once, felt comfortable in my own skin. And everyone tells me outside of wrestling that That's what you have to be inside of wrestling, times 100. Take the person you are outside and apply that inside, but more grandiose, if that makes any sense. So I am the Fresh Prince of Midair. It may have taken a couple of tours of Mexico and maybe the UK too, and one upcoming one I'm not exactly allowed to say where I'm going at, but it's constantly evolving. It's me though. Find the prettiest pieces, or the ones that fit best with each other, and just try to make a new masterpiece out of it. I believe this is mine.